Hello friends and welcome to today's episode of making Rijstevlaai. This is such a classic treat in Belgium and the Netherlands. This is rice pudding pie. I love rice pudding and I love pie. This is such a great combination and it is so easy to make. We're going to start with the pie base or the dough. This is an enriched dough. In a mixing bowl, place 250 grams of strong bread flour, followed by 1 good pinch of table salt. Then in goes 25 grams of caster sugar. I'm using golden caster sugar. You can use whatever sugar you want. At this stage, I'm only whisking in to disperse everything evenly around. Put that to one side for now. Next, I have 100 milliliters of room temperature full fat milk. Then I'm going to crack 1 medium room temperature egg into the milk. Then I'm going to give it a good mixing. After that, I'm going to pour in 7 grams of active dry yeast. Mixing the yeast into the liquid helps in dissolving it. So, let's come back to the flour mixture. We will need a dough hook for this next part. Once things start going, pour in the liquid yeast mixture. Let's knead the dough on medium speed for 6 minutes. Within minutes, a dough ball will form. The sides of the bowl will start to look clean as the dough gets mixed in. After 6 minutes, we are now going to add in 30 grams of soft room temperature salted butter. Let that mix for 4 minutes. You might need to scrape the sides of the bowl to help with the process as this is a rather small batch and it might not mix evenly. And like before, the sides of the bowl will become clean from the kneading. I'm just going to take the internal temperature of the dough to check. 25 degrees Celsius is perfect. The ideal temperature should be about 24 to 26 degrees Celsius. So we are spot on. I'm going to take a clean bowl and spread some neutral oil. I'm using vegetable oil. Transfer the dough ball into the clean bowl. But just before doing so, shape it better by using your fingers to go underneath, and at the same time, the dough ball will naturally stretch. This will result in the top part becoming smooth. You can also shape the dough ball on the table if that helps you. In order to do this, it's just a matter of slightly pulling the dough towards the center to make it tighter, resulting in it becoming smoother on the surface. Wrap the top of the bowl with cling film. We're going to proof this dough for 1 hour. My room temperature here is rather cold, so what I've done is turned my oven on with no heat to help create a warm, circulated environment. It is best to proof dough at also around 24 to 26 degrees Celsius. Since we have to wait 1 hour, we can go ahead and make the next step happen, which is the rice pudding element. In a large pot, pour in 1000 milliliters of full fat milk. Next, pour in 150 grams of pudding rice, or any kind of short grain rice of your choice. And then 30 grams of vanilla bean paste. We want to see the seeds, or at least I want to see the seeds, so that's why I'm using real vanilla beans. Traditionally, this is plain or vanilla based. You can of course add other flavors like cinnamon, saffron, just to name a few. Bring the pot over to the stove, and at this stage you can put it on maximum heat. On maximum heat, just remember to stir constantly. We don't want the bottom to burn. I'm using a flat silicone spatula, as I think it works best. Don't use a whisk, as that will break up the rice too much. Once it starts boiling, you can turn the heat down to about less than halfway. I'm turning the heat down to number 4. Within no time, the milk will start to evaporate as the rice is cooking. Slowly the mixture is becoming thick, and that is what we want. Within 30 minutes, the body of the rice pudding is able to hold my spatula upright. We are looking for a creamy risotto kind of consistency. After you see very little liquid, transfer the pudding into another bowl. We need to stop the rice cooking process and to allow the mixture to cool a little. Just look at that. No burn marks, as we cook the rice pudding on rather gentle heat. In the meantime, measure out into a separate bowl 125 grams of caster sugar. I'm also using golden caster sugar again, but like I said, you can use whatever kind of sugar you want. Next, pour in 15 grams of cornstarch, but here in the UK it is commonly more known as corn flour. This will give it structure. Mix the corn flour with the sugar to disperse it evenly. Pour in 3 medium-sized room temperature yolks. This will give the rice pudding that custard-like flavor and texture. Give that a very good whisking until it turns slightly pale. As you can see from the 2 shots side by side, from a yellow mixture to a beige mixture. Pour it all into the rice mixture. Gently fold everything together. Remember, this dessert is only as good as you want it to be. If you make a great rice pudding and a great dough, then you will have nothing to worry about. Give that a shake and you will notice a gentle wobble. So, in the meantime, rice pudding check. That is sorted and ready. Let's check on the dough. It has been 1 full hour. Here is the shot side by side of how much the dough has risen. Take the bowl out and set the oven slightly above 200 degrees Celsius, full fan. So, I have over here a fluted metal pie tin. This tart or pie tin comes in two parts. The first part is the base, and the second part is the edges. This is 11 inches across and 1 inch deep. I also have some softened butter. I'm going to spread out the butter all around. Make sure you spread it out evenly and everywhere. You can of course use a brush for this part. Now we can focus on the dough. With the same flour you used on the dough, which is the strong bread flour, dust your worktop. Remember I had oiled the sides of the bowl? This dough comes out so easily. At this stage, you can be generous with the dusting of flour, so don't be shy with the amount. Dust the top as well of the dough. When it comes time to lay the dough on the pie tin, it is going to be upside down because the top has the smoother surface. Don't be shy with dusting the top of the dough and flip the dough as you spread the dough around. Also, while you roll it, make sure to move it around. Moving it around will ensure it doesn't stick to the table. Use a rolling pin to spread the dough as evenly as possible. We are looking for around 3 mm to 4 mm in thickness. You can use the pie tin as a reference while you roll. Once you are happy with the size of the dough you have rolled out, we can then transfer it over. I'm using my forearm to help me, but you can use the rolling pin. If you do decide to use the rolling pin, just make sure there is enough flour to prevent it from sticking when you try to unroll it over the pie tin. Make sure you also press down evenly all around. I'm using a pair of scissors to help with the extra overhang, giving it a haircut. One of the best things with this recipe is you don't have to blind bake the pie base first. Take your time with this part and really make sure all of the grooves are lined. We really don't want any air pockets to ruin our pie. After you've pressed down the dough evenly, take a fork to dock the dough in both directions. This will help in preventing a bulge while it bakes in the oven later on. I'm just going to clean up the working area. Ah, that looks better now? Now we can pour in the rice pudding mixture. If you can pour it all in, pour it all in. If not, don't worry about it. This recipe here allows you to pour it until the brim of the tart. I'm just going to check on the oven. My infrared thermometer reads at about 209 degrees. I purposefully set it slightly higher than 200 because I will lose some heat when I open the door to put the pie in. Once you place your pie in, then you can actually turn it down to 200 degrees Celsius. We're going to bake it for 25 minutes. I also turned the pie halfway while baking. This helps to give it an even color because the fan is at the back. I have added another 4 more minutes. When the pie comes out, don't worry if there is a slight jiggle in the center of the pie. The remaining heat will ensure it is perfectly cooked. Things are looking great as you can see. Pie base has lifted from the sides, so when it comes time to unmold it later on, it will release easier. So here's the thing, you can either enjoy this in a couple of hours from now, or do what I did. I'm going to let it cool completely and then wrap the pie and place it in the fridge to enjoy it the next day. Let's come back the next day. Take it out from the fridge. Out pops the side frame. So easy. Now just run your knife or a flat palette knife to release the base. Perfectly clean. Just take a look at that. Perfectly baked and the grooves of the pie tin are captured. You don't see it, but I have on the side some warm water in a jug and a paper towel to wipe my knife every time I make a cut. I would also recommend, if you want to go the extra mile and this is not really traditional, you could glaze the surface of the pie to make it even more shiny and to protect it from drying out in the long term. You could use some watered down apricot jam to glaze the surface. But with such a pie as this, I'm sure you would enjoy it as soon as you can. Sometimes something so delicious and nostalgic are the simplest to make. Let's take a slice out. Well, that just looks desirable. Rich custard-like rice pudding with real vanilla on an enriched dough base. What's there not to love? I'm really happy to see the individual vanilla seeds. The pudding is able to hold its shape. Just admire that wobble. And also admire the pie base with the bubbles. Now, let's make it a deluxe Rijstevlaai. In order to do that, we will just need some whipped cream and shaved chocolate. Whip the cream of your choice. This has a little sugar. And at the same time, don't over whip the cream. Keep it lush and velvet-like. Once it can hold itself up, stop right there. You can either pipe it on or spoon it on. It is entirely up to you. I decided to spoon it on. Next, to give it some contrast, this is dark chocolate. Use a grater or a vegetable peeler, it really depends on the size you're after. I did half and half. Half peeler and half grater. So I've made the deluxe version because I wanted to have the entire adventure of eating the whole thing. Let's have a try. Now, that is lekker. I love how you can see the individual rice inside the pie. It's creamy, it's rich, has hints of vanilla, dark chocolate, and it's just wholesome. I don't know why it took me so long to actually make this. I enjoy it at room temperature. You can heat this up for a little bit, or you can have it cold. It's Dutch. I'm half Dutch. It has rice. I'm half Chinese. Was there not to like? Well, there you have it, guys. A deluxe Rijstevlaai. I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as I have. It was a great pleasure seeing you, and until next time, bye for now.